nurture our creativity when we release our inner child. Let it ride and roam free. It will take you on a brighter journey. Hello, everyone. So, for starting a new chapter of learning, I, Shonali, have the pleasure of being your host for today. Wants to extend a warm greeting and good evening to all of you present here. I hope you are doing amazing. On behalf of whole SEMS family, I welcome you all for today's international webinar on topic Rediscover Inner Child in Youth. So I see a quite number of people are joining us. Before I proceed, let me take a brief moment for the introduction of my organization. SEMS Welfare Foundation is not for profit entity established to work in the areas of education, social welfare, women empowerment, skill development, entrepreneurship, livelihood generation, employability, health, research, cultural international cooperation, sports, environment protection, or any other similar sector. We promote healthy lives, balanced and active communities, and strong businesses. It allows the volunteer member to concentrate their energies and efforts on long-term goals when freed from day-to-day details. As discussed earlier, today's topic for today's webinar is Rediscover Inner Child in You by speaker of the day, Colonel Sanjeet Sirohi. So I would like to introduce today's presenter and speaker, Colonel Sanjeet Sirohi. Colonel Sanjeet Sirohi, an economics graduate from Delhi University, joined Indian Military Academy in 1975, served for 35 years and retired as a colonel in 2009. In last 11 years, he has interacted with more than 2,000 students and helped them in carving their success path by developing their soft skill employability skills. To embark on his professional voyage with excellence, he has attended soft skill trainer course from Institute of Image Consulting Business Institute, New Delhi. So I thank Colonel Sanjeet Sirohi for taking out
Thank
the
you.
time for today's webinar. So without any further delay, I would like to give my heartiest welcome to our guest speaker,
Thank
Colonel
you.
Sanjeet Sirohi. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Sonali. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today I will discuss with you a very important but very simple topic. And as Sonali said, the topic for today is rediscover inner child in you. I'll tell you a story before I start off. There was a dream which I saw a few days back in which I saw a God. And God told me that you should build a better world. I questioned how. The world is such a wondrous place, but it is so complicated now that I am a very small man and a useless person. There is nothing I can do. But God said that you just build a better of you. That means if we want the world to be a better place to live, we must as an individual build ourselves better. Now the question comes, how can we do that? Now, with this as a background, let me start with my talk. Yeah. So the topic for today is rediscover inner child in you. Now there, how do we do that? How do we become a better person? Like I told you, God told me to become a better of you. How do we become better? Now there are thousands of books on self-improvement. In America itself, 15,000 books are published every year, which are basically on self-improvement and motivation and so many other things which are related to us. There are certain books which I want to show you. Some of the important books on self-improvement are 5 a.m. Club by Robin Sharma, 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins, Start with Why by Simon Sinek, Grit by Angela Duckworth, Attitude by Mr. Jeff Keller, Atomic Habits by James Clear, Flow by Mihai Csikszentmihalyi, Unlimited Power by Anthony Robbins, Maximum Achievement Brian Tracy. These are very famous, very popular books on self-improvement. Now, I will tell you a very simple technique. You don't have to read any book. You don't have to waste time in reading a book. I will tell you a simple technology, simple procedure with the help of which you will be able to improve yourself, you will become a better person. And once you become a better person, this world will become better. Now, about 200 years back, or more than 200 years back, famous poet William Wordsworth used the expression, the child is the father of the man. This was said by a poet 2020 years back. 220 years back, that child is the father of the man. Now, why did he say that? And this was said in a famous poem, My Heart Leaps Up. Now, this is the poem. My heart leaps up when I behold a rainbow in the sky. So was it when my life began. So is it now I am a man. So be it when I shall grow old or let me die. The child is the father of the man. And I could wish my days to be bound to each by natural pity. So this is what William Wordsworth said 220 years back, the child is the father of the man. Now, what does that mean? He said that he used this term in a very positive sense. He said that when I was a child, I saw the rainbow and there was awe and joy which I enjoyed. And same emotions I have now when I am a grown up man. And I hope I will carry on with the same emotions when I become old and die. So that is the power of a child. So if we observe the child, and we will notice that they demonstrate certain characteristics that if they continue with those, they will become successful in life. We can learn great deal about the qualities and behavior that can lead to success and fulfillment in life by simply observing children. So what you have to do, the simple technique, what I said is that you just observe and learn from the children. They will display such qualities and characteristics which you follow, you will become not only successful, your life will be fulfilled. Now, how do you do that? But some people think, and mistakenly they think, that children are ungrown. They are empty receptacles waiting to be filled by the teachings of the adults who are around them. Over the years, after observing the children, I have found out that there can be nothing more than further from this truth. In fact, now I know that we learn more from children than we teach them. But we have to pay a close attention to how their child mind works. And if we pay close attention and if we allow ourselves to be taught by the children, then we could all be happier, successful, and with more fulfilled life. Now, how does it happen? I will tell you. When you were born, you entered this world with trailing clouds of glory. You were connected with your spirit. You knew that happiness comes from taking action. Just I will repeat this because this is very, very important line. The happiness comes from taking action and not only thinking about action. And the child is fully aware of it. That's why he keeps on doing something and he always have a fun. For example, the child, he shouts when he sees his friend and he runs across the playground. The child, they dig deep in the wet sand to make castle. They save the baby bird life. You made costume at night and you could become anyone you wanted to be and any time you wanted to be. You were Snow White, you were Superman, you flew across your room into your dreams of your own making. You got up in the morning, got up on your bike and went for a ride. And not only you went for a ride, you started cycling without your hands, with your hands in the air. When you were young, you knew your destiny. You were very clear what you want to become. And let me tell you, like Sonali said, that I have interacted with large number of students, both from school and college. You ask any school student who is in 5th, 6th class that what he or she would like to become, and they will straight away tell you what they want to become in life. But I have interacted with college students, and especially those who are studying in professional colleges, and if you ask them what they want to become, they are not clear. They have lost that spirit. They have lost that connection with their spirit. When you're a child, you are a very clear and everything is possible for you. You are very, very optimistic. You are not afraid to dream and yearn for everything you would like to see happen to your life. So, this is what the power of childhood is. But the good thing is that you can do it again. It is not that you have lost those and you cannot rediscover. That's why the topic of mine is today how to rediscover inner child in you. And if you are able to rediscover inner child in you, then you can do wonders in this world. Perhaps you are thinking that now I have grown up. You no longer know what to do in your life. But let me tell you, you start doing something. Once you start doing something, you will come to know what you should do. Mae West, the famous stage actor and a film actress, said, "You are never too old to become younger." So all those, I think most of you who are attending these classes, you are young people, but you have also lost your childhood. And before you lose your further childhood, just be very, very cautious about it, and I will tell you how to go about it. So just remember, even after 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, when you reach my age, just remember you are never too old to become younger in life. So with this as a background, now let us see what all qualities do the child bring to this world. And those qualities, if we can rediscover, then we can make our dreams fulfilled. Now, these qualities are children are born with remarkable qualities. Firstly, is they are fearless. First is that they are born largely unafraid. They come into this world with only two physical fears. The first fear is fear of falling down, and second fear is the loud noise. All other fears which you and me have been told to us, have been taught to us by our parents, by our teachers, or our elders by repetition and reinforcements. We were not aware of any fear. Anyone who has been or who has raised a 5 or 6 year old child knows this very clearly. The child can climb ladders, he can climb any numbers of floors. They can run into the traffic. They are not afraid. They can grab sharp instruments. And generally, they do all those things which look suicidal to us. They have no fear at all. And those fears have been installed by the parents and the elders. So that is first quality. And I think if we can rediscover this quality and we become, I say fearless, it should not be that you should become a reckless. There is a difference between fearless and a reckless. Don't be reckless. Think about it. But don't be afraid of anything. Don't be scared of the failures. Number two, they are largely uninhibited. They laugh, they cry, they wet their pants, they say and do exactly what they want to do with no concern whatsoever of the opinion of the others. They are not interested what others will think of them. They are completely spontaneous and express themselves easily and naturally with no inhibition at all. Have you ever seen a self-conscious baby? No, they are not self-conscious. They do what they want to do. If they want something, they will start shouting, they will start crying, but they will take whatever they want to take. And wonderfully enough, this is a natural state. This is natural state for most of us. The way you came into this world were unafraid, uninhibited, completely fearless, and able to express yourself easily in all situations. And that is your natural state. But we have become unnatural while growing up. Third thing, very, very important, attitude. The child starts with a clean mental window of attitude. That's why you will find children laughing, giggling, with sunny disposition. They will only cry when they have a problem. And as an adult, we are sad without any problems. And they would love to explore new things. For example, I'll tell you, when the child learns to walk, he gets up, he falls, he gets up, he falls, and he keeps on doing this till he learns walking. He doesn't frown or blame the carpet. He does not blame his parents for giving him the lousy instruction. He doesn't quit. He smiles, get up again and again, and keep on making attempts with positive attitude until he gets it right. His attitude is a squeaky clean, and he feels like he can conquer the whole world. He is very, very optimistic. So the child is having positive attitude and optimism. Next is curiosity. The children are born curious. Anyone who is around with about 2 years old child, you will get fed up by answering the question. He or she will keep on asking you why. And it is a common sense to encourage this curiosity. But unfortunately, we as an adult, we tell him to keep quiet. We shut him down. And as soon as he starts going to school, his curiosity is shut down because the teachers also tell him or tell her the same thing. Please keep quiet. Please keep quiet. Most of the teacher and the parents, they are asking the children to keep quiet because they don't want to waste time in answering the question of a child. And as a result, his curiosity goes out. I want to tell you about one person which you may have heard about it, Eddy Zhong. Eddy Zhong became the CEO of his company at the age of 15/16. And he talks very, very sensible things. First, he says, every day kids go to school, they become less intelligent. Academically, they become intelligent because the school don't teach creative intelligence. That is number one, his observation. Second is, creative kids turn into teenagers who don't think out of the box. They only think what is inside the box. And the kids become hot air balloon. Most of you must have seen hot air balloon. When it goes up, he doesn't know where to go. It all depends on the wind, direction of the wind, which takes him left or right, east or west, north or south. So most of the children, when they become teenagers, they become hot air balloon. Once they grow up, they don't know what they want to become. And they start trusting their parents. Whatever the parents decide, most of them, they start doing that. They don't do what they want to do. They do what others want them to do. And as a result, what happens is, no one has ever changed the world by doing what world has told them to do. This is very, very important thing. If you do what others tell you to do, then you will not be able to, neither you will be able to change yourself, nor you will be able to change the world. So this is what Eddy Zhong has observed, and I thought I must share with you. Next is determination. As a child, you learned walking, falling 100 times, but again getting up and made another attempt. When you first try to feed yourself, you put the food in your eye, on your cheeks, but everywhere, but not your mouth. Learning how to talk was a difficult task, but you learnt it. So determination is part of our very nature. You have within you and you can find it again. Most of us, we try to do something, and if we are unable to do it, we leave it. So our determination has gone down. But whereas child, we could do everything, whatever we wanted to do. Children know where joy comes from. They know the joy comes from doing an action. They are constantly trying to do something. Even if you tell them to go to sleep, they will still do something unless they fall asleep. The famous cry of a child when he is riding a bicycle is, look, ma, look, no hands. Because he is not satisfied by mere riding the bike. He wants to try something new. And what new he tries is that he drives the bike without the hands. Then the same child riding it with hands up in the air, field is right there. It is doing things that bring joy to the child. As grown up, we have forgotten that. We start thinking that by feeling things we get happiness, but not by doing things. And further to that, we think that it is the other people who are doing it, and then we will feel happy about it. Both these ideas are bad ideas because we have lost touch with what we once knew. We have disconnected ourselves with our spirit. So if we rediscover ourselves in such a way that we start taking action instead of just thinking about it, intention will not give you any profit. Intention will not give you any return. It is by doing things which you will get the return. Focus and concentration. If you have observed the children when they are playing the game, for example, if you see a child playing cricket and he's batting, you see how focused and how concentrated he is. He doesn't need any lesson from us on focus and concentration. So that is very, very important quality which child has. Craft or writing. Most of the time I have seen that the child, he reads a book and then he leaves the book and tell his parents that I will read this end of the book after some time because I want to enjoy the end. That speaks of craft of writing. It gives the message of craft of writing. Never neglecting. You please notice that whenever any child finds anything of his which he had used earlier, like a girl who had a doll and that doll was misplaced somewhere, and after some time, when she sees a doll, you see how much happy she is because she knows the relationship even with inanimate things. So that they don't believe in never neglecting. So you must never neglect anyone. And last is forgiveness. If you shout at child and if you even slap the child, after some time he starts playing and he forgets that. He forgives you, he forgets that. And I marvel at the strength and resilience of a child who has this heart. But if we think that we have been done something wrong by someone, we remember that throughout our life. So these were some of the very, very remarkable qualities which a child brings in this world. And all these qualities, we as elders, we as adults, wants to imbibe them. We want to follow them. So if we observe the children and we learn what they do, then you don't have to read any book. We keep ourselves telling arrogantly that we need to teach morals and values to the children. Let me tell you, children teach us so many things if we are willing to learn. I'll tell you a story. Mother was shocked to hear her son tell a lie. Taking the youngster on side and with heart on heart talk, she graphically explained what happens to liars. And I want you to pay special attention to this story because it has got a very good lesson for adults. Now, what does mother tell to the child? She graphically narrates that tall black man with fairy red eyes and two sharp horns grabs little boy who tell lies and carries them off at night. He takes them to Mars where they have to work for 50 years in dark canyon. And now she concluded, I quote, you won't tell a lie again, will you, dear? Now the child replied, no, mom, but you tell a better lie. So the mother was telling the child not to speak lie, but she was lying herself. That is what we go wrong. So these were the things which I wanted to discuss with you. Now let us see what happens. Why does we all lose all these things when we already had? When you were a child, you started out as a baby knowing exactly what you wanted to. You knew when you were hungry. You spit out the foods you didn't like and avidly devoured the one you did. You had no trouble expressing your needs and wants. You could express yourself. As you got older, you crawled around and moved to the whatever hold the most interest for you. You must have seen a small child, they will go for the switch, they will go for the electrical equipment because that it interests them. They are not afraid of taking risk. They are very clear about their destiny. You, as a child, you wanted to make mark in the world. You wanted to realize big things. For you, everything was possible. You were not afraid to dream and yearn for everything you wanted. You wanted to live life as a glorious adventure. You wanted to learn new things. You were completely as you were. You had the natural leadership power. Then what happened? Your windows got splattered by criticism of your parents and teachers. Your parents started criticizing you, your teachers started criticizing. You got smudged by ridicule of your peers. You got smeared by rejection in life. When you got rejection in life, you lost interest in life. You got spoiled by disappointments. You were disappointed by so many things in life. And you got clouded by your doubts. As a result, you lost your enthusiasm. You got frustrated and depressed. And most tragically, you gave up on your dreams. That was the most unfortunate part. That as you grew up, you gave up your dreams. Somewhere along the way, someone said, don't tell touch that. Stay away from there. Keep your hands off that. Eat everything in your plate, whether you like it or not. You don't really want that. You should be ashamed of yourself. Stop crying. Don't be such baby. You can't get everything you want simply because you want it. Money doesn't grow on trees. Can't you think about anybody but yourself? Stop being so selfish. Stop doing what you're doing and come do what I want you to do. After many years of these kinds of sections, most of us eventually lost with the needs of our body and the desire of our hearts, and somehow got stuck in finding out what other people want us to do. That is what happened after all these sanctions by the parents, by the teachers, by the elders, by the coaches, anyone, any role model, adult role model who came into our life. They always criticized us, and as a result, what happened? We become constricted and even paralyzed by the parental and cultural conditioning. Our conditioning was done in such a way that all those remarkable qualities, 10, 11 qualities I had talked about, we forgot about. We deny our dreams, we stifle our genius because we were very curious. And when everybody told us to keep quiet, keep shut, we stopped asking questions. We smother our passions. We were very passionate for doing something, but the sanctions from the elders smother our sanction. In the name of being sensible, we become numb to our own desires and we became hot air balloons. To sum up, youth become indecisive, confused, and uncertain about their future. That is what happens to a youth. That happens to anyone who is now a teenager or around the age of 20, 25, 26. What we were like a diamond, but unfortunately, we have become a coal. But I will tell you how to become a diamond again. Now, before I do that, let me tell you a story. And from that story only, we will learn certain lessons. And I want you to pay special attention to this story because from this story only, you will be able to learn 5, 6 lessons. Now, story goes like this. I was sitting in a restaurant and I saw a mother enter with her two kids, a boy and a girl, who each looked to about 4, 5, 6 years old. Mother had her hands full because of clothes she was carrying, which she had collected from the dry cleaners. The frown and the harried look on her face showed that she wanted to get out of the restaurant quickly and go home. When mom waited in line for orders to be taken, the two children ran toward the self-serve soda machine and ice dispenser. I'll repeat, when mother was busy in giving the order, the two kids they ran towards a contraption which was self-serve soda machine and ice dispenser. And they started checking all the gadgets. It was a typical contraption, the kind where you just tap the lever and avalanche of ice pops into your cup. The young boy was sticking his hands through the grill where the excess soda and ice falls in. He was trying to feel and get a handful of that sticky stuff which was lying there. His mother caught a glimpse of him doing that and she shouted from there to not to do it. Oblivious to her command, the boy kept on putting his hand through the grill and investigating the mess. That was what the boy was doing. On the other side, the young girl started pointing to each item on the machine and yelled over to her mother, "What is that?" Eager to hear mom's explanation for each gadget or flavor. Mom wasn't interested in teaching what she was asking. So, hurriedly, mother, she paid the money and took two empty cups and came to fill those cups with soda and ice. Both children wanted to operate the machine. They begged their mom to allow them to do it, and they refused to take no as an answer from their mother. And mother kept on saying no, 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 but they kept on insisting that they want to try that gadget. They want to fill their cup with the soda and the ice. Finally, mother relented and she handed over the two cups to the two kids. And the cup was wobbling and the kids were trying to fill that with the soda. They were not bothered whether it was coming in that cup or not, but they were only interested in operating this contraption or the machine. So while observing all these children, I learned few lessons which I want to share with you. First is the children were totally engaged in the present moment. How difficult it is for the adults to concentrate on now and to block all other thoughts. As an adult, either we are brooding about our past or we are worried about our future. We are never in the present. And we seldom enjoy the present experience and enjoy ourselves. But these kids were not like that. They were enjoying each and everything. It does not matter for them whether that soda was coming into the cup or not. They were completely absorbed by what they were doing at that moment. So, this is one lesson I've learned, that you should always be present in the present moment if you want to experience and enjoy. Second is they had a goal which excited them. Now, how many of us as an adults have a goal? Hardly anyone. They knew what they wanted, which was to operate the machine and drink the soda. All of the energies of there was directed toward achievement of the goal. How many adults have clearly defined goals that excite them? Sadly, the goal for many of us is to just to see that we go through the day. It doesn't have to be that way. You don't need to fall in a rut and put your life on an autopilot. Instead, you have the ability to choose a challenging and exciting goal to which you can strive. So, number two things which we must learn is that we must have a goal which excites us. The kids were incredibly persistent. Their mother kept on telling them no, 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 but they were not ready to listen to it. They wanted to do what they wanted. And in spite of the fact that mother was yelling at them, and trying to tell them not to do it, but they were still doing it. And the finally mother gave in and they had their goal and no obstacle was there to stop them. Now this reminds me of the statistics which I have seen from the studies carried out on sales people. Now all those who are from the sales department or the sales who are dealing with the sales, it has been found out by studies that the person prospect says no 5 or 6 times before he agrees to buy a product from him. But most of the sales people, they try to close the deal after they have been told no only once or twice. So you must learn from the children that you must be persistent and you must find out ways and means to convert no into yes by some creative means. The kids were filled with wonder and enthusiasm. Once they saw the machine, they wanted to know everything about it. They were excited and bubbling with enthusiasm at the thought of selecting a flavor and filling the cup. Contrast this approach with the way the adults tend to view new things. Most of us are rarely enthused about the unknown. In fact, we usually keep our distance and have no interest in exploring anything which is unfamiliar to us. Furthermore, we resign ourselves to stay entirely within our comfort zone. We begin to close our minds not only to those new ideas that may cross our path, but on the miracles and wonders of the things which happen around us. So, as an adult, we must be always curious and enthusiastic about whatever we are doing. And last is, the children didn't care what others thought of them. This is very, very important. They were concerned about how well, they were not concerned about how well they were performing. In fact, failure was not in their mind at all. The cups were tilted, ices, soda were all over place, yet they could care less. They just wanted to learn, participate, and enjoy themselves. So these are the 5 lessons which I learned from this experience of mine, and I also want you to learn from this. So first is you must always be in present moment. Second is you must have a goal which excites you. Number 3, whatever you are doing, you must be persistent about it. In spite of all the obstacles which come on your way, you must be persistent. And as a child, you were persistent. It is not something new which you are going to do. Fourth is that the kids were filled with wonder and enthusiasm. And lastly, the children did care. So you should also not care for anything. Whatever you're doing, you must keep on doing it. Forget about what people will think of it. And let me tell you, no one thinks about anyone because he himself is busy in his own problems. Now, lastly, we come to a very, very important question. Some of that we have already answered. The question is that how do you reclaim yourself and your true desires and true self? Or how do you get back to what you really want with no shame, fear, or inhibition? Or how do you rediscover inner child in you? One sec, let me. I will just stop this slide and come back again. There is some problem in this slide. Okay. So now we come to the distinct main thing about this talk. First is how do we rediscover ourselves? Five things I told you when I said that you must learn from what I learned from the that story. First is this: let's make it a point to recapture some of our child play of years past. Think about the ways in which you can apply these things. Like you must set up a goal. You should not get worried about what people think of you. Second is start doing something and give your best. As we get older, we begin to focus not so much on doing a task, but we start focusing on what other people will think about us. We are worried about the other people judging us and judging us very harshly. As a result, we often decide that it is best not to try at all. If this is happening to you, it is time to get up back in the game, give your best, and participate. Next is honor your preferences in every situation. So, what happens is most of the time we know what we want to do, but we don't do it. So, we must honor our preferences in every situation, no matter how large or small they are. Don't think of them as a petty. They may be inconsequential for others, but they are not for you. You deserve to have everything in your life exactly the way you want. Fourthly, every act of courage, of goodness, and of self responsibility will have an immediate payoff. That means you must have courage, you must be good to other people, and you should take responsibility for everything what you are doing. That is the self responsibility, and you will be able to do wonders in this world. Each time you do what you know is the right thing, and it is truth, it will remove mud over you. All those sanctions which have covered you so far, if you start doing right thing, then that mud will be removed and you will start shining. Each time you act with love rather than fear, you become who you were meant to be. So, whatever you want to do with love and not with for fear. And lastly, each time you reach your dreams and listen to your heart, you remember a little more of who you are. So you must dream and you must do everything possible within your this thing area where you can make it successful. So in the end, I want to sum up this that it is not suggested that you discard the valuable traits which you have developed as an adult. I am not saying that you discard those and you start adopting a childish behavior. But what you can do is you can combine the adult maturity and discipline with playfulness, inquisitiveness, and creativity of a child within us. Then we can accomplish great things and have plenty of fun and enjoyment along the way. So if you follow whatever I have told you, you rediscover inner child in you, all those qualities which most of the authors of self improvement books are talking about, most of the motivators are talking about, most of the public speakers are talking about. You don't have to look at them, just observe and learn from the children. And I have told you what remarkable qualities those children have. And once you do that, let me assure you, your life will change. You will be successful in whatever you are endeavoring, and you will have fulfilled life. Thank you very much. Now I will take on the questions.
Okay, thank you so much, sir, for this. This was really very informative and incredible session. The webinar was really very amazing.
Now it's time for question and answer. All of you, please write your questions in the chat box. I will bring them up one by one.
I want you to ask me as many questions as possible because this is something which is very dear to me. And why I have chosen this topic is that I go to schools and colleges, I go to universities, and there I find the difference between a school kid and a college going child or college going teenager. That's why I decided that I must tell everyone that you must rediscover inner child in you. You have a tiny seed of inside you, which you have buried. And by doing all these things, you will be able to take that out. You can stifle its whatever it's saying, but you cannot silence its voice. It is very much inside you. And as long as that child is in you and you are listening to that, I think you can do wonders in your life. Yeah, Dr. Premanand, absolutely right what you said. When you are transiting from young to adult, it is the fear. But that fear was not there earlier. Yeah, there is one question. Let me go through that.
So one question is from Degi Samaksh. How can we
Yeah.
maintain the inner child but avoiding to behave childishly?
Okay. Now, how to maintain a inner child? I said that you don't have to be childish, as you have brought out. I have told you a story. In that, we have learned number of things. Firstly, you must concentrate on present. You must have a goal. You should be enthusiastic about the goal. You should be persistent, and you should not bother what others are talking about. Because it is your dream, it is your goal. They don't even know what is going in your mind. So don't worry on that. That were 5 points which I said. Then I said that you must do something. Most of us, we don't do things. We just thinking, we just keep on thinking. We have good intention, but that intention will not get you anywhere. You have to take action. And let me tell you, there is no perfect time to taking action. The mid-course correction can be carried out, but you start taking the action. You should be courageous. You should do good to others. You should take responsibility for your life. No one else is responsible. You take 100% responsibility. And each time you do anything without fear, with love, you are going to improve on you. So all these things you can practice, and I can assure you, I have practiced it and I have improved a lot. I don't think I do it. And that's why at the age of 68, I am still doing it. Yeah. How it
Okay,
can
sir.
be possible? Yeah,
Okay, sir.
Sarah
The next.
Janay. How it can be possible to rediscover the child in others? How it can be possible to rediscover the child in others? You can't rediscover the child in others. You have to rediscover the child in you, yourself. Forget about others. They will discover the child in themselves. Yeah. Yeah, Pramod Sakakar, don't you think all or major religion or spirituality preaches us to be child every moment of life? Exactly. I said you should be child, but you should not behave like a child. Your childish behavior should not be there. And I hope you understand the childish behavior. And as I said, your child inside you should not die. If you make sure that you listen to the voice of your child, which is inside you will enjoy your life. You will not brood over these things which are happening in your life. You will enjoy every moment like the child enjoy. The child is not worried about what will happen next day or next month. Transaction analysis says adult to adult transaction, best transaction, our inner child may spoil our adulthood. Well, when the transaction analysis people are talking about the child of the childish behavior, I will repeat, I am not talking about childish behavior. I am talking about those qualities which the child brings to this world. I also understand that adult to adult transaction is the best transaction. But I am saying that those remarkable qualities which the child has, those quality must never be forgotten. We must rediscover those qualities. And most of us, we have forgotten those qualities because of the sanctions which we discussed of our parent, teacher, and adults. Okay. Because Samaksh, he says how we are supposed to take care of our inner kid, emotional stability, how to pamper, how to make soul happy. If you want to make your soul happy, keep on dreaming and keep on trying to fulfill your dreams. Because dreams are like food to your soul. Like you eat food for your body, the dreams are the food for your soul. If your dream they die, they are shattered, your soul also dies. So always keep on having dreams, try to have goals, and let me tell you, the people who are the happiest in the world, there was a study which was carried out. The people who are the happiest in the world are not those who have got large wealth or health or any other thing. Happiest people are those who have goal in life, firstly, and secondly, every day they are getting closer to their goal. So have a goal and try to do something every day, every moment to get closer to your goal. You will be the happiest person. Not only you, your soul will be the happiest. How to control short term anger? Now, firstly, let me tell you getting angry is not a bad thing, but getting angry at the right time, at the right place, and with the right person. That is more important. Okay. I think there are no more questions. If there are any, please you can write down in the chat box. Any questions?
Sir,
Sonali,
I
there
think
are there any questions?
no, sir. I think there is no more questions. So we
Okay.
should. So I should conclude this session.
Look, just give me 1 minute. Firstly, it was I'm very glad and I'm very honored to be with you all. It was your comments, what I am seeing you. I'm so happy that you have felt good about it. And lastly, I thank the SEMS organization for giving me this opportunity to interact with you. And I request them to give me more opportunities so that whatever I have learned in my life, I can pass it on to you. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Okay, sir. So the end of one chapter is just the beginning of another. Read on. The best part is always yet to come. I extend my gratitude to our Honorable Chief Speaker, Colonel Sanjeet Sirohi, to take out time from his busy schedule to grace the event. I hope all the participants learned a lot from this webinar. Thank you for giving us your valuable time and delighted to part of this webinar.